Hello again, this is GinGurGurl, and on my previous video I showed dropping a number, about approximately 500, core sampling probes on this planet, and I want to show you the next stage now that is complete. So if you want to check to see the status of completeness for your sampling probes, if you don't remember from the last one, you go to Computer and you do Show MB for mining beam dot sample maps. It'll pull up all the sample maps you've dropped or planets you've dropped probes on. So in this case, I'm looking at this planet right here is now 100%. I've got another one elsewhere that is about 55%. So as it is finished, I'll close that out. Now I'm going to, just so I had a nice clean slate, now what I'm going to do is you type in show MB dot sample map overlay, and then you type space on. Now it's going to take a moment. Up here it's going to show you that it's got a little bit of thinking to do. It's analyzing the data, so it takes about 60 seconds or so, and in the meantime I'm going to kind of close this down and kind of point down towards the map so that you can kind of see what's about to happen. So right now you can see the ground itself. It's got variegated, it's got caverns, things like that. However, it's about to change quite dramatically. Right, here we go. There we go. Now each of these squares is actually pretty large space. Just as an idea, I believe, I'd say probably 8 to 10 domes can fit on each of these little, and they're not really squares, they're more of rectangles. And right now it's kind of looking more like, well, a very pixelated video game as opposed to a survey map like you would expect. But as you get closer, you see the variations in colors. Now, each color kind of represents multiple things, but you have to understand that you've got multiple resources on each planet. These colors are all overlaid on top of each other, which combined make the colors that you see. The lighter the color or the brighter the color, the more dense that particular material is. For example, if it's iron, it would be brighter if there was a lot of it. If there's black, that tends to mean that there is nothing there. So white would probably be the best explained as you've got quite a bit of everything, while black is very little of anything. The black is probably a better location to place things like your warehouses and your entertainment centers and even your power facilities, while all these others are better for your farms, of course, and your mines, but also residential towers and things like that if you would like the bonuses, which I'll discuss later on. Now, if you want to be a little more specific and don't just want to kind of guess, well, this kind of looks blue and kind of green, maybe it's these things combined, you can go in here and you more or less repeat what you had already typed. I've already copy-pasted mine, but now I want to get a little more specific. Maybe I'm specifically looking for iron. Well, it's going to sit here and analyze yet again, so you got to wait. But what it's going to do is it's going to erase all of those other filters. It's going to take out your aluminum, your silica, your everything else, and it's only going to show you the iron in the area, so you know where to place your iron mines. You could do it for pretty much any of the resources that you're looking for. Here we go. And iron, of course, in this case is red. Like I said, the black is going to be where there isn't a high concentration, if any, iron in the soil. The darker that red is, the less of it. But the brighter ones, for example, here's a little bright red spot. Over here's one. Those are probably pretty good areas. Now, if you haven't already established your deed, or even a dome, maybe you have a deed, which is pretty large area. You obviously would have quite a bit of space, but maybe you haven't built any domes yet. Maybe you know you want your deed in this area because it's nice and smooth. But you want to start out with iron. So you would probably want to choose like this little cluster here because there's quite a bit of iron right there. And that still leaves you plenty of room to build power and other essential non-material required pieces, such as, like I said, your warehouses, your entertainment centers. You can put some residential in there, but you get a bonus that, like I said, I will discuss in a future one. If you have any additional questions, please let me know. Now, the last thing I can just say is test this out. Make sure you try out a couple planets, find out what it is that you're looking for, and see what you can find in each little square. When you get a little closer, you can get a little more information, but that pretty well is an overview. Any questions? As always, leave messages on the site. Thanks.